Hey yo! Hey gods, welcome back to my channel. And if you're not a god, which means it's the first time you're seeing me, welcome. Okay, so today's video is all about power. Woo! I don't know if y'all like power as much as I did or do actually still even till this day. But anyways, so for those of you who watch Power, obviously you know that Power has unfortunately come to an end. Anyways, since it's come to an end, Stars gave us something incredible. So, Stars has announced that there will be not one, not two, definitely not three, but 4 spin-off series from Power. So it's basically going to be part of the Power universe, and they're going to go as follows, which is going to be Power Book 2, Ghost, and that's currently, actually, yeah, it's already in production. Yeah, and you've also probably seen the teaser. If you haven't, check the link in the description below. Okay, and then Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Power Book 4, Influence, and Power Book 5, Force. All of the Power Books, and I'm basically just gonna go into each one of them and explain what I think is probably going to happen. Like, you know, for example, in Power Book 2, as we've already seen, you know, like a snippet, trailer, whatever, teaser, whatever you're going to call it. But since we've already seen that, I've had my own theories about where, or the direction rather, that they'd go in. So I'm just going to be basically exploring that. And then just also speaking about the characters and how I think they're going to develop in each of the Power Books. So I hope you enjoy. I just realized I made a mistake. I did extensive research for this. When I say extensive, I mean extensive. Mo was right. I did need a script. This is a lot harder than I thought. Don't freestyle, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Power Book 2. So with Power Book 2, just from already the snippets we can see in the trailer, I'm just going to focus on a couple of the characters. So I want to start with Tasha. I feel like Tasha, she's an important character, always has been, probably always will be, and I think she might even be carried throughout all of the franchises. I don't know, it might be ambitious, but I think so. So with Tasha, as you can see, she's in jail. She went to jail because, you know, she took the fall for Tariq killing
Tasha
Ghost.
Green St. Patrick, you're under arrest for the murder of James St. Patrick.
She didn't do it. She didn't.
Go to school.
Mom, tell me you didn't do this. Tell me.
Whew. Which brings me to another controversial point, because at the end of the day, guys, I personally, okay, I like conspiracy theories, but I personally feel that Ghost isn't dead. And I had this theory, and you know, I just didn't even know who to speak to about it, and I ended up speaking to a friend of mine, and then he was like, watch this video. Guys, watch this video. Yeah. Basically, this YouTuber, I forgot his name, but he explains and even shows some pretty compelling evidence that Ghost did not die. I mean, you know, believe what you want to believe. It doesn't matter. But anyways, we move. I just had to say that. So, what I think we're also going to see is that Tasha, we're going to just see her life and basically how, you know, she gets into prison. And, you know, I feel like the usual storyline, you know, she starts from the bottom.
It's only fucking horrible.
You know, probably has to sell her hair, you know, just to kind of, you know, gain her place. Maybe has to join a gang. probably, you know, the typical stuff, but basically we'll see her moving up the ranks. So I think that, you know, as she's obviously moving up the ranks, maybe, you know, someone in the crew or whoever, you know, takes a liking to her, makes her second in command, things like that. But essentially I feel like Tasha will end up being, you know, one of the big dogs and end up like moving mad weight. And then she literally comes out and she's like, okay, no, now I want to do things legit. I think that's how they always start. They want to start out legit, do things right, but then, hey, jiggy somewhere down the line, they have to, you know, go back to what they know. So I think also she'll use, I always forget his name, but she'll use the businessman who basically got Tariq into uni. I think she'll use him because remember, he offered her a job.
There's one more thing I need from you. Come work for me.
So yeah, so I think that she'll probably just like go to him and say, hey man, you've got connections, please help me out, you know me, I mean, I'm not a threat. Another thing I think about Tasha is that basically she's gonna be mentoring Tariq, you know, like basically in jail. So, you know, during, you know, calls, you know, visits and things, you know, basically still teaching him, you know, tricks of the trade and all of that, because I think that's basically still the agreement that they have.
And I will kill Ghost to protect you.
I should be the one protecting you. And I will. I promise you that, man. No matter what.
So, speaking about Tariq, he's now the second person we're gonna be talking about. So, Tariq, okay, as we know, Tariq is in uni, so he's a grown boy, you know, making moves, he's smarter, you know, because he also thinks that he outsmarted Ghost. He thinks that, Ghost is dead, I did that, that's on me. And on top of that, he is trying to be the man because, you know, he's trying to make sure he's got his mom secured because, as we remember, Ghost made sure to leave Tasha nothing. Zero, nada.
Split in favor of Tariq. He gets the property, the shares in the nightclubs, including Truth, and the watch collection. You do not inherit.
Nothing.
I'm sorry, Miss Green. James designed it this way. Unfortunately, you do not have access to the life insurance, the stocks, or the bonds. The entire portfolio goes to your children.
Guys, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. If I literally gave up my entire life, like, entire life for you, like, guys, everything, my degree, like, everything, and then on top of that, you leave me nothing. Oh, come on, baby boy. Oh. Anyways, whew. So basically what I think is that Tariq, he's just going to be also moving weight in uni, similar to what he did when he was in high school, and remember he got expelled, basically that whole situation. But I think that now, if he had to, you know, get into any sort of trouble, remember, he has connections. So I doubt that he will have a bad record. So he will literally go scot-free with any and everything. That is probably Tariq St. Patrick for you. And another thing, also we saw in the trailer, we saw that there were girls.
You're not the only one with secrets. You got game.
I knew it. I was like, there definitely has to be a hun. If it's not one, it has to be two. One, he's gonna realize, oh, my ride or die, you know, so fast baby, why me? But then there's another one who's the one who's literally willing to do any and everything for him. But basically, Tariq is just like Ghost. That is what we are basically concluding, because I have a feeling that someone is gonna be a Tasha and someone is gonna be an Angela. And obviously, we can't not talk about Ghost. So, Power Book 2 Ghost, I think it's just basically gonna show us just Ghost's life growing up. you know, from when he was born, you know, to him being inspired by his father, you know, owning the nightclub, and I think also his uncle as well, who we even later meet.
Please. Your father'd be proud of you, Jamie. Uncle Gabe. You recognize me? Man, come here. Negro, I knew it was you.
Yeah, just basically also how I think he meets Tommy, and also how they just grew up in the streets, and how they basically ended up being, you know, brothers. I think, you know, I think they're really gonna just shine a light on showing us how Ghost developed into who he is and who we know Ghost to be when we watch Power. And yeah, I think in this series I have a feeling that they might also do it like a panel, you know, between different time periods, you know, like in the past and the present and maybe the future, or in the past and the future. But basically that, well, I have a feeling we will see some clues, a few clues that Ghost is alive, or that he still somehow has an influence in everything, in Tariq's life, in Tasha's life, in Tommy's life, you know. So those are pretty much the characters that I wanted to talk about basically in the Power Book. And I think also a special mention guys, Mary J. Blige is joining the cast.
But when I see you hanging about with anyone,
I was so excited. That was really, really cool for me, because I've liked her since I was a little Ntonas. I mean, maybe not like super fan, but amazing artist, great actress. I mean, have you guys watched Umbrella Academy? If you haven't watched it, guys, go watch it. Like, she's such a badass in that, and that series is phenomenal. I mean, so now we move on to Power Book 3. We know what that entails. That's obviously going to be centered around the one and only Kanan. Guys, I don't know about you, but I've been intrigued about Kanan as a character from the very beginning. Mainly just because it's funny how Kanan is always just mentioned. Whether it's he's physically there, or, you know, people are just speaking about him, or, you know, people are just thinking about him, or like anything. Literally, Kanan's name comes up. And obviously, if your name comes up, you must be a G. So, I think, yeah, it's just basically going to show us, obviously, you know, Kanan also when he was young, how he grew up, I think, in the streets, you know, and basically also how I think he met Ghost, and how it was him, Ghost, and I think Biggie, if I'm not mistaken. Guys, I promise you, I did the research. I just forgot the name, but I'm pretty sure it's Biggie or Biggs, something like that. But anyways, how basically they end up running the streets, and how essentially how Biggs ended up being dead, and how Kanan ended up having to run the streets. And that just shows us how he's been the top dog. And I think also it's going to show us from our perspective, like, for example, how he was also running things in prison, because I genuinely feel like wherever Kanan goes, he's going to be running stuff, whether we like it or not. I mean, it's just who he is. So I think we're also going to get a glimpse into basically how he saw Ghost's betrayal. I think we're going to see firsthand how he felt. We're going to get to know from his perspective what his plan was. Did he execute his plan the way, you know, he wanted, or is he still trying to execute it? Because I think we all can believe that Kanan has been wanting to off Ghost. And then I think what is also going to happen towards the end of Raising Kanan, I think that they are going to then show us obviously his death. So what I think that's what they'll do with all of the series, or all of the spin-offs, or that's what I hope they would do with all of the series or all of the spin-offs, that basically at some point they can, like, you know, interlink. You know how similarly
So please, sa barangay,